clap your hands. That is where we talk of this appreciation, which will learn to have a grateful heart. And now you are welcome. So, what do you have for us?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Madam?
I hope we all can hear from wherever we are seated.
Madam, if you want to take your stand, if you want to take stand up, take your position, don't say hand and get out.
I hope we all can hear from wherever we're seated. My name is Menace, classroom teacher for over 10 years. I'm currently a student too. Before I start, I want to thank EDOSCO for this unique opportunity to be here. Like he rightly mentioned when he was giving his speech, civil society is all about your rights, law, and all that. There's still avenue to know more, and that is the social vices that is almost taking over our society. Before I start fully, I want to recognize the presence of my eldest sister, Barrister Mrs. Bridget Godala. She came all the way from Oluku to come and surprise me. I didn't even know she was going to be here. She did know about the program, and she said she would see what she would do. I'm happy she eventually made it. So before we start, I want to ask, do we really have social vices in Nigeria as a country? Yes. And in those states? We have. Please, I'm a classroom teacher. There are times I will step back, there are times I will walk through, and there are times I will ask you questions, and there are times you ask me questions. So it's going to be a very interactive. So we have social vices, or all is well with our nation. Oh, we have here and there. Sir, please, help us with one. Let's see, which one bothers you the most currently?
One that bothers me the most presently is our youth that are born into heroism, and it is not helping the society at all.
Thank you so much. Can we get a lady speaker mic? What is that thing you've observed in your society, your environment, that you feel if care is not taken, this one will not be careful? A lady, please. Okay.
I would like to say it's the scourge of prostitution. Till date, there are some corners in Benin where you see ladies, beautiful women, the young and the old, selling their bodies for money. And it's as if nothing is being done about it.
Thank you so much. So like we've rightly mentioned, to be honest, let's not deceive ourselves. There are a whole lot of social vices that is almost taking over our country and our state, including our city. As we go further, I know this is a civil society where we tend to do the right thing, but please feel free and speak your mind. A paper will be passed across to you. All you need to do is to tick yes or no. So I will need some volunteers to do this. Everyone may not participate. So, yes, just so like I said, let's be honest, that we be very happy. Is there any policeman among us? Okay. So we will not be arrested.
If there is one, become a convict.
So we will not be arrested should we speak our mind. So in the paper you have been given, there are about 3 questions which I'll read out quickly. Like I said, all you need to do is to tick yes or no. Honestly, please fear God. Say the truth. So question 1 says, are we together please? Question 1 says,
where are you? Bring us from here. Come, bring some here.
so question 1, if you've gotten the paper, says, commits a criminal offense that only you know about, will you report your child to the police? Yes or no? Remember, we want to talk about the role of parents. We are all parents. So you get to find out that your child, for example, killed someone. Your child robbed a bank. Your child stole a car. Will you report to the police or you hide that child? That is question one. Question two. Your child comes home with a Ghana must go filled with money. Will you make any attempts to look for the owner? Or you quickly shut your door and say, bring her inside. And person they come. Yes or no? The next question is, if your child becomes wealthy overnight, will you run to EFCC and say, yes, make una come? Will I say, get with my pikin? So take yes or no and let me have the response. I will proceed from there. So please, honesty is a watchword. You are not even allowed to look at what your neighbor is feeling. Say your mind. So what you do that
There is no murmuring, please. No consultation, no comment. Hey, who is that man with glass, please?
So you feel that quite when it's time to analyze our response, we'll do that. So God, children they say is a blessing from God. But when children begin to engage in social vices, especially the ones that take away the peace from the society, parents will begin to wonder, is my child actually a blessing or a curse? While we may not really want to exonerate the perpetrators of social vices, it is not possible for us to sweep the role that parents play in the lives of children who engage in social vices under the carpet. You know, it is easy to blame others. When a child becomes bad, Menace says what? It belongs to the mother. God says so, that when the child becomes bad, it belongs to the mother. But when a child excels, it belongs to the father and the entire community. So, a child that has been raised in a bad manner will grow up to become what? Have you ever seen a child that is not well raised growing up to become an adult with good manners? No. You cannot give what you do not have. So a child that has been constantly enabled by the parents will grow into an adult whose love for social vices knows no bounds. The level of social vices in Nigeria is escalating at a rate where even a blind man cannot begin to put numbers to it. Like they say, when the sun is too much in a pot of soup, a blind man begins to see. That is the state we are now in terms of the rate of social vices in the country and in those states in particular. Just yesterday, we were condemning the killing of Mr. Deborah in the north. Who knows? Tomorrow we may condemn an act of rape in the west, and today we may be standing against a case of ritual killing. What are we going to stand against this? So we are now seeing a situation of an endless cycle of social vices in Nigeria and in those states. So how do we sleep when our youth that are supposed to take over the leader of a matter of leadership, they're choosing to take over the mantle of social vices? Who do we blame? Me? You? All of us? Or Satan? So who do we blame this? Yes. Me? You? All of us here? Or we just quietly leave it for Satan? You know the devil is always responsible. Yes, sir. Who do we blame?
First and foremost, I will trust it back to the parents, because I believe that the parents fail the one way or the other. That is why we have those verses out there. Your house, after the house of other places, I will trust it. The first is the parents. The parents failed. And I will not trace it back again, probably to the school. But the school authorities too, they fail to instill discipline in these children. So also the school might have failed. And thirdly, I will also trace it back to the church, whereby every person from the society goes to the church. And I also trace out that the church also failed in a way whereby the church are not been able to do what they need for what they are supposed to do. So by the time I've gone through all this, I'm not able to know that that is the reason why we have these societal problems in the society.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your contribution. Why you have said that it is the family, the society, who mentioned the school. Let's see what other people. Please, does it mean that there is nobody blaming the devil?
Who is the devil?
But behind closed door, we always say the devil causes. So now that we are here, it's not devil. Please let's get from this.
I am Comrade Monkaro Saro. In Benin, we say Aaron by Biomo. That was yesterday. But today, Aaron by Biomo now. Because, yes, in Benin, we used to believe that one person, man and woman, does not give birth to the child. The child alone, the child belongs to all and sundry. But today, does the child actually belong to all of us today? And the answer is no. I want to categorically say now that we are all responsible for the moral decadence in our society. Nobody should say parents more or pastors. And we are supposed to be responsible to turn things around. That is my question.
Thank you so much, Vanessa.
My name is Comrade. I have a Davanian view. I was once a classroom teacher. When I did my TP at Kingswell. I don't blame students, I don't blame teachers at all for now, this century we are right now. It's the society. The society are accepting them, and maybe the churches in particular, sorry, with respect to Christians. For instance, now, if somebody is very rich and he goes to church, he will give it a front seat. So I was contributed 100% to that problem, acrimony. That's my take.
Thank you so much. So, okay, we take just one last message.
I will. You see, when Madam was talking, you see, Benin say when a child is born, it belongs to the mother. It's not Benin. God says so, that every bad child belongs to the mother, and every bad child brings sorrow to the mother and not to the father. That's why when child is good, the father will say, my child, my child. When child is bad, he will say, don't see your child. Don't see your child. That's the law. It's a law of nature. First, the core problem we have in the society is lack of family value. Lack of family value. I've said it here, that a child, the father abandoned for nanny to care for will not be a good product in the society. You can't rule it out. You spend 3 or 5 hours in school, and if it's 3 hours minus 24 hours, you spend 21 hours with your parents. Who's supposed to mold you first? Is it the school or the school? America is the greatest enemy to the world today. Are you aware? That whatever vices we are having today emanated from America. And when you see every profession have a uniform, two of us. Hello? Every profession have a uniform, two of us. When your mother dress as a prostitute, the children will copy it. When you dress as a mechanic, your children will copy it. Whatever profession you belong to, the first person to copy are your immediate family. The way you talk, particularly women, your children copy, whether male or female, they copy from them. Very fast. They trust and believe their mother more than they believe their father. True or false? Yeah. False. So, the vices start from the home and end up in the society. A child who starts stealing meat from the soup. John, don't do it again, no. John, I will kill you. And they do it again. John, I told you that day. Don't do this thing again, no. He will take money, 500 naira. John, who took this money? What's wrong with you? I will beat you. He will take 5,000. Before you know, you go to your next neighborhood. Before you know, you go to the society. You go to the society. Trouble has started. You can no longer train that child. You bend a tree when it's small and direct the tree beside it should go. Not when the tree faces your building, you leave it. You grow and grow and become a roof for facing your building. Then when you allow it, one day when it's rooted out by storm, it will destroy you and your house. Because it's saw it when it was growing up. Teach a child the way he. You know, we spend more time in teaching women our girl child. But we don't concentrate on teaching a child, a boy child. The Bible is telling you, teach the boy child. The boy child is more dangerous than the girl child. But we left the boy child and concentrate on the girl child. And at the end of the day, the boy child will violate the girl child you have taught with ordinary peppermint and pepper soup. So we must learn to start from scratch if we must get the society right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That was a very detailed response, and I really appreciate it. From what you've said so far, I think the next thing for me to do is to carry my bag and go. You have provided everything we talked about today. So maybe my own is to just put Jara. So starting with parental value, what you've all said as the causes of social vices is absolutely correct. But as you know, we are here today to only look at the role of parents. So we may not be talking about the churches, we may not be talking about schools. So all what we'll be talking about throughout will be what can parents do to curb this. So first thing first, parental value, starting from where it stops. There are some families in Benin, permit me to use Benin because this is where we are. There are some families in Benin that are reputable for poor parental value. That is to say, when you mention that family's name, those that are seated before will tell you where they come. We'll see tomorrow. When you tend to go into that family, they tell you, I'm not sure say you know where they go. When you mention the particular, say that one where they fight. So those are what? Parental value. What is your family known for? We do say that good name is better than wealth. But these days, it seems that wealth is better than good names for some family. Nobody wants to hear about good name. All they want to know, do you drive Venza, yes or no? If you don't, go home. Carry your good name and go. So when we talk about parental value, we look at children being raised in such a home. Parental value is not theory. It is practical. You cannot buy it. Have you seen somebody give you what they don't have? I cannot speak French. Can you make me speak French? Can I teach my children French? No. But we do have some parents here who tell their children, come. It is not good to learn. And then their phone rings. And here, I'm not taking me now, I dey Lagos. So what do you think that child will grow up to become? A liar. The child will grow up to become someone who does not believe in telling the truth. Foundation. Somebody said like Muhammad, okay. I heard, I didn't say. Okay. So such a child will grow up to become somebody who does not appreciate the value of being honest. There are some families reputable for, allow me use this, Yahoo Yahoo. First son is Yahoo, second son is Yahoo, upcoming third son, Yahoo. Parental value. It is what you establish that your children will grow up to. I always tell people it is easy to condemn. Nobody wants to say the cause. It is easy to go out and say, see that Yahoo boy user again, you will know better for her. But you are going home to meet your son who does the same thing. What is the difference? He has not used somebody to do ritual yet. So the devil right now is that boy who has used someone for ritual. But your son who has it is not guilty. So we must cut societal vices as parents. We must begin to teach our children certain values. I did pass something across to you, and I ask you to think two topmost value as a parent. And these are actually the value we should raise our children with. The first one, that we have hard work, honesty, integrity, patience, teamwork. There's this one I love most, contentment. This is what is killing our youth these days, lack of contentment. You see a youth already having one house. The moment the friend is having two, the next question is having one. This is somebody that already has one. And you say, oh, that like this, like you say, hey, no one, I'll run out. Lack of contentment. And I did say if you have others, you should please indicate. Now I want to go back to hard work. What we hear these days is that Namumu they do hard work. Is that not what they say? Namumu they suffer. I know they find work, now money and they find. So parents no longer teach their children hard work. Hard work does not only refer to what you do in your office, in your education too. I told you I'm a classroom teacher for over 10 years. I'm equally a PhD student at the University of Benin. We see parents come to school for the sole purpose of influencing their children's grade. They don't believe in hard work. They don't believe in go home and study again when you fail. They tell you fail which course? Who is the lecturer? I'll be in your school tomorrow. And that is it. If you don't teach your child to work hard, please, tomorrow, whatever you see is what you want, manage. The integrity, this one is a no-go area in some roads. Nothing like integrity. We have some of our parents selling one land to 10 people now. Or is it in Morocco that one happens? Does it happen in Benin City? So you are told that people are fighting you for selling one land to 10 people. And you expect to raise a son who will be transparent in life. It's not possible. Your children are watching. So if you must cut societal violence, vices, we must act as role models to our children. We must say what we want them to do and not tell them what they should do. A child does not listen to what you say. A child watches what you do. That is why you tell a child, do not touch this. You say, okay, don't touch this phone. And the child sees you touching the phone. What will the child like me to do? Go ahead and touch the phone. So parental value, if we have not thought about this before now, as we live here today, let's ask ourselves one question. What is my family known for? Let me quickly share this story with you. I have a boy in my school, Jude. I've been teaching for over 10 years. I keep saying that if the father writes a book on parenting, I'll use my PhD school fees and buy that book. Why? I have never seen a boy as obedient, loyal, decent as that boy. It was that bad that any PTA meeting we do, we must make reference to that family. In my school we have over 300 people, but there's a family that is standing at parental value. Remember COVID-19 came with face masks. Everybody started wearing. I can tell you now that till now, those two children from that family, the Osawes family, they still wear face masks. Parental value. Why? Even when we tell them not to wear, as they are leaving the house, if the parents say, take your face mask, they are going to wear. I go to the class and I tell every other person, stop making noise. I'm not facing you because it's not making noise. parental value. I asked a question, who did this? Who will I face? Jude, tell me the truth, because I'm sure you will likely tell me the truth. So now we are proud of that family. I don't think the father has two heads, or does the mother has two heads? No, upbringing. I can tell you that if those children go to the university, their parents will go to sleep with their two eyes closed, because they've done a very solid foundation for those children. So we quickly look at another role parents will have to play if we are really sincere in curbing social vices. And that role is parental duties. Most parents don't like this part. They just don't like this part. Because some parents believe that their role begin and end when they give birth. How the pikin take role? Like God. Is that how we say? God will take care of the pikin. But we have long past the era where we believe that God will take care of the child. Yes, God will play his role. We parents will also play our role. When you don't perform your duty as a parent, you tend to put unrealistic expectation and pressure on the child. If I ask some of us to share a story of when we started taking care of ourselves, somebody may likely say, since 7 years, I got a buy parts for myself. Somebody may likely say, by 12 years, I got to feed my family. Parental duties. We now have parents that are only keen in giving birth, but they are not bothered about how to take care of the child. I also have a paper here that talks about the responsibility of parents. The first one says provide an environment that is safe, such as a peaceful and loving home. We have parents that gamble, carry the kids' school fees, first day babaje. If you pure, I pay him. But what if it doesn't cure? It becomes a quarrel at home. We also have mothers that spend 24 hours watching Big Brother Nigeria with the child work assignments. Not me, you do it for school. With the child eats, not me, later I go cook. So we have parents that have what? Provided an environment that is not loving and that is not peaceful. You see, on social media, we have so many advices for married men and married women. Just few days. The latest one is to tell women not to wear pants. No wahala. Yeah. But if that will give you happiness, not wear pants. If your husband don't like our now to begin fight for house. What will John do? John will separate the fights. I posted on my social media page one day where a boy said, I will beat you the way my father beats my mother. So where did the child learn that from? A home that is not peaceful. I tell people it is one thing to get married. Your marriage will not even ceremony will not last 2-3 hours. You are home. Face reality. Is your home peaceful? Those of us seated here, is our home peaceful? Let me quickly say this. I visited my uncle. While the man was talking, I was just observing one thing. I said, teacher, I kept telling him something. I said, sir, the happiness I see in the faces of children, whatever you are doing, continue to do it. He's not wealthy. I didn't see one big TV in his house. I didn't see one woman, but you could see that those children were happy. One just get admission to Unive for pharmacy. So I ask you again, Madam, Oga, for your mind, true, please stay your house. True, not the one who won't like give ourselves. True, is there peace in your home? Do you think your children are genuinely happy? Every time you shout, Mama will start right, I will kill you today. What do you think your child is learning? And you as a mother, every time you tell your husband, you dey mad, big goat, see your life. What do you think your daughter is learning? I teach children. I see children come to class every day looking unhappy. And before I ask the question, I already know the answer. Daddy and mommy fought before they came to school. It affects your children. And it shapes their life and how they will grow up and who they will grow up to be. Let's be honest, we've seen adults educated defend domestic violence on social media. Why? Their parents were likely violent. You've seen a full-grown adult telling you that if my wife cuts me, I will slap her. And if you probe further, he will tell you because when my mama cuts my papa slap her. So that person now believes that domestic violence is justifiable in as much as the parents practiced it. So as you go home today, ask yourself again, is this home, I don't care where you live, 3-bedroom flat, 100-bedroom flat, 1 room, Face me, I face you. That is not what makes a home peaceful. A home is peaceful because of your attitude as a father and your attitude as a mother. If we must curb violence in the society, we see a case of a boy beating a girl, he say, I will beat you pieces. Have you ever seen a child giving birth today and the next day is beating pieces? No. The child must have seen it somewhere, where? Probably in the home, in the society. So another one is provide your child with basic needs, such as education. Let's not even go to the education. I tell people, before you hold government responsible for giving your child education, look at your vagina, look at your penis. Was government there? When you were making love to your wife, giving birth to number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, I don't think Baba said he was there holding the penis for you. No! Or is it that we don't know our account balance? I know my account balance. So if you don't know your account balance, you may, but we all know our account balance. So we know the number of children we can comfortably take care of. But yeah, we are quick to call Buhari, call Baseki, call whoever is in charge. But we don't look at the role we play in all this. You can't give birth to, in fact, you are not even supposed to give birth at all. If you don't have, if you cannot provide your child with the basic needs of life. One, most important, education. We see how people give birth and say, God will send her go school. My dear God doesn't do that. So we talked about education, shelter, food. There are people that just give birth because they want to be a parent, but in their mind, they know that that child is likely to ask girl and ask boy. I had a child in Ogun State who was willingly handed over as a house girl by the mother. That's not a problem. And this girl is in primary 3. But the problem I had was a full-grown woman. You gave your child as a house girl, and you then go and meet the ladies to collect the money. So the child does the work. You sleep in your house. At the end of the month, you come and collect the money. Is that not wickedness? That's child labor. And there was a day the mother came to school and she was pregnant again. I said, this one in my class, I'm solely responsible for her educational bills. And you don't go carry belly again. I was forced to tell the mama that look me. That I resemble no one get belly. Me whenever I don't know where. See your pikin. She comes to school with her book. There are days I carry my clothes. Because she's a big, in fact, she's not even supposed to be in primary 2. But because of that delay, she's still in primary 2. There are times I carry my clothes and give to her. And I asked her, I said, Madam, me when they pay your pikin school fees, I know some people. So you can't be getting pregnant when the ones you have, you will not even be able to take care of them. Then food and health care. There are times you and I will be walking on the road and you see some women. Please, mothers, we bear most of this. You see a woman pregnant and telling you like this, auntie, I don't understand. You are heavily pregnant, and you are, any of us have experienced that before. It's very common around the ring road as this. What happened to me recently? The woman tapped me and I told she has 1 child already, she's heavily pregnant again, and she's telling me that give me money to eat. And I'm like, Mama, you can't be doing this. There are people we should help. There are people that are intentionally destroying the lives of their children. And there's nothing you can do to help those people. If you help her now, in the next 9 months, there will be another pregnancy. Then teach your child morals. These are part of the responsibility of parents, such as honesty, respect, and compassion. Provide discipline and guidance. There are some families where, anyway, we'll talk about discipline on its own. So let's leave that now. Now the next one is parents and child closeness. And Mr. Chairman did mention that. You know, these days, what is in vogue now is house girl. Is that not true? House girl, maid, nanny. They'll tell you, you see a young girl just getting married, no child, nothing, but she's already crying for herself. Oh, God, give me herself. Why? Can anyone tell me why that thing is not possible? Laziness, but there's one reason they do it. There's one reason why it's very common these days. I do understand that health conditions may make a woman not to be able to do some domestic work. So we are not talking about that. We are talking about a healthy man and a healthy woman who does not even have a child yet. And their career does not really, is not that stressful, but they need health care. Can I tell you? Okay, yes. Why? Time. No, their job is not even really demanding. Yes.
Lack of family help, lack of family ability to bring them up because they fail to do their duty. That is why he or she are often business, what is supposed to do. She believe that,
It's very simple. Both the man and the woman, they have what they call poor parenting when they were coming up.
Okay, good. But let me quickly add this. You know, in this part of the world, we like copy, have you? But civilization, whatever happens somewhere, we've not taken our time to examine that thing, whether is this model working, what are the disadvantages, we just pick it up. So that is why you see a couple just getting married. Because the couple in the next flat has girl, me, I must have. Lack of what? That closeness, bond. Parents don't have it anymore. There are some parents that know children 100% better than their parents do. I have children who tell you, my mother doesn't even know my birthday. It's my nanny. The child is celebrating birthday. I say, did you get gift? Who wish happy birthday, my nanny? Sir, how about your father? He has went to work. How's my mother? And she go market. Parents no longer build that close relationship with their children. I'm sorry to say this. I don't know how it will be possible for a child to be raped under her mother's roof, and the mother will come out. Civil society help me or fight for me. I don't know, say my husband got the rape like me. How? How is it possible? No closeness anymore. So what they are after now is money, career. I'm a career person. But on my social media one time, I did say my family comes first before my career. But these days, people, when you say that, they say, hey, you don't know anything. But we as educationists, we know the effect of these things later on in life. When both parents put their career first before their children, later in life, will explain. So parents don't have time. There are fathers that don't even know, and mothers are a bit better in this aspect. But there are fathers, maybe the only thing they know about their children is their name and their sex. Peter like boy, Mary like girl. Now my ask here for honor, case closed. What? Okay, let's do a little demonstration. Sir, you have children, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me your first child favorite color? Please don't lie.
No, it's still young. My first child is 6 years, present with me.
Okay, 6 years, what? Okay, who has a child that is probably 10 to 12 years or above? Yes, sir. Favorite color of any of them?
If I say blue, my child is not able to confirm me.
Okay, but are you saying the truth?
Doesn't matter.
You need to ask. Okay, I am here now. You don't know how to confirm. But I can tell you at least 80% about my child. Stand up. This I'll say not like you. Stand up. So I believe in your organization, we do have parents that are doing the right thing, although not the majority of them. So please clap for yourself and sit down. When you do know your child, it's very difficult for he or she to go astray. At the school section, you have good friends, you have bad friends. But should you do your homework as a parent, guess what? You see those secrets they do in school that is capable of destroying them. When they come home, they will tell you. They say, Daddy, get on WhatsApp group. In my school, there was one time we discovered WhatsApp group that children belong to. Do you know what they do in that WhatsApp group? It's a task. Today you are told to snap your breast and show them truth on their game. But how did we get to know? The parents did. We also had a case of, should I say semi-sexual abuse, because it wasn't really sexual, it was the grooming. The teacher was grooming the child. How did we know? The parents, how? Through the phone. I'm not saying don't give your children a phone, but do you know what is in that phone? So that particular mother picked her daughter's phone and read through the chat and saw a teacher that is already telling that girl, I will give you garden egg. So the men in the house will know what garden egg symbolizes. So garden egg is for those that don't know, garden egg is what? Penis. So he was already telling the child, I will give you garden egg. And there's writing, I love you, I love you. But what the mother did is what I like. The woman like no nonsense mother, not some of us that leave it for God. The woman did not leave it for God. She came to school with fleece. The next day, she did not leave it for God. And I was very happy. I was very happy she came to school with fleece. And the teacher was eventually dismissed. So that's because of what? Closeness. When you are not close, when you don't show your child love and care, your child will definitely seek it elsewhere. But the question is, do you know where? Do you know from who? Why do you think young girls fall for boys that simply tell them I love you and their legs are shaking? A young girl, a boy tells her I love you and she's already. But if you train up your child with, oh, good morning, how are you? Okay, you are going out, I love you. If a boy tells her I love you, it will not freeze her. It's something she's used to. And again, if I ask, how many of us tell our children, I love you? Mothers, it's called, I want to see men that do it. You tell your child, I love you. So certain things we need to tell her. There are things we need to, there are laws we need to show to our children. So that when the wrong person shows it to them, it doesn't lose them. Okay, that one way you want to play Baba Jem. If you reach us, carry an ice cream for your children. So that when the car buys that ice cream, it doesn't freak out. So that the boy will not buy our and say ice cream. It is not to our children. When they are going to school, hug them, show them love. When they come to school, that boy in SS1, even if he hugs them, to them, that's what they say, they collect from the house. But when you don't do that, they see it as one deal. Now, the last one we are going to look at is the one that you probably don't like, discipline. I hope they will not throw me off. I'm an advocate for discipline of a child. I don't believe in this Western method of discipline. I don't believe in pampering a child who needs to be corrected. I don't believe in saying, Peter, stand up for them. Our parents knew how to make us stand up without talking, right? I remember my mother would look at me and we were arranged. She has not said anything. And by the time you come home, next day, you see that scene. A lot of you will remember. Like they say, your brain will reset on its own. We are now in an era where mind your business is the order of the day. Advocates of mind your business. While we are growing up, we did hear that the child belongs to everybody and not just the parents. Everybody. But these days, it is now what? Simply parents, leave my pikin for me. That is why you walk past and you see two children fighting. You don't even bother to separate them. How many of us will separate two children fighting? On our way to work. But this is where the problem lies. This is what the problem lies. In terms of discipline, I think social media is not doing a good job on that aspect. Social media is gradually that playing the role of discipline in raising up a child. On social media, every form of discipline is a child abuse. I say it for my time all the time. I see some parents trying to correct their child, kneel down, close your eyes, raise your hand, and the child is sweating. Vex you. If that video gets to social media, there are majority of people that will want insult the parents. Hey! For sure. They say, hey, what your kid abuse? So people begin to tag your society. Say, just go, go should come. And that is discipline. Child abuse. I tell them, discipline is different from child abuse. When you spoil that child. You see the money you don't want to spend now, you spend it by that time. We have had cases where public, you see a child insulting the parents. What will the child do and the parents usually say? Who can tell me there's this common one, mothers, they always say it, give her land, like small picking. But the spoil,
beat you.
He will beat you.
Your man will beat you.
And the parents will say, give her like small picking. And the spoiled small picking of today will be the spoiled adults of tomorrow if nothing is done about it. True of us? True. That is why we say the way you lay your bed, desire your desire on it. And I hear some mothers say, do what works for you. If like beats they work for you, do it. If like talk they work for your house, do it. I agree. But your child that you raised well and my child that I spoiled, please, is there a different society that they are going to meet? Why are you telling me? So there's no different society. No. So madam, it means that if you raise your child very well, but me, I spoil my own, that the same society that will meet. So what is not the effect of that? That you raise your own, but you not bother help me raise my own, you say not consign me. That your son when you raise well. No, that your daughter when you don't tell, not follow man, no, not do this. But me, I not bother tell my son, say he get age where they reach before they do that kind of thing. Your daughter and my son come meet for the same society. What will happen? Bele go come, I mean Bele no go come. Bele go come, madam. So say when you take it your own, you waste time, you don't waste time. You waste time. So that is why we say that the child belongs to everybody. In as much as there is no different society for our children, your child that is well mannered, that your child that you say sits down and the child sits down, and that my own is telling me, mommy the man, they will all meet in the same society. And we may not even be there by that time. So what happens? That is why when you see a child stealing, caution that child. You know why? You see that child stealing that you refuse to caution today, they likely be the armed robber that will bring up to your house tomorrow. True or false? True. You see that girl, you know this, what we don't they don't start to want to so today the breast is showing small, tomorrow everything is open. And you as a mother, you see it and you say, what concern you? So come here, hold on.
That's why they read now.
Well, you have a son.
For sure.
But madam, you have a son that's going to get married tomorrow. Your son may likely end up marrying that woman.
Yes, sir.
So that is why children belongs to all of us. Everybody. But in correcting children, please do it with love. That is another aspect. You know, when it is not your child, the slap can be a bit heavier compared to when it is your child. So please, when you are correcting children, whether your child or not, do it with love. In terms of discipline, and I will conclude with this, there is one thing parents miss. A child is touching his phone, and you spank the child, and the child takes off his or her hand. Does he end there? No. So what are you supposed to do as a parent? Please, can we hear you, sir? Please, can we just clap for you? That is what I want all parents to do. And I see parents make this mistake. They are in public and the child is misbehaving. Yeah, even the staff, you will really. Mother, small. Say, no, my that is the end. No. If you are spanking a child, if you are reprimanding a child, let the child know. And I do not support corporal punishment. Why I support discipline? Papa, hold his mama out of this one. See those of the way they carry belts. So those they carry Koroko, that your son, love his body. I have one question for you. Since you feel that your son body, what's change? If beats they change pikin, we only need to beat am once. But how many of us don't beat our pikin once and that change wey we dey find we see am? They happen like that. No. Not after you beat am, maybe a week or two go do am again. You go still beat am. Like my nephew will now tell me, he dey OTH. So there's an extent you will flog your child to, they will not say OTH. When I didn't know better, when we used to flog, say me down there. Okay, you go home, man. Nobody will advise you. See this your house, you understand. But we looked at all that. Nothing wrong. Counseling, it's love, is what will make that your child. avoid social vices. It is not my daughter, you know, they follow boy. Come today, I go back your head, tie your vagina, I go put pepper. Mother put pepper, he will still follow boy.
Sure.
In fact, there are children, when you caution them that way, they will dare you, say, hey, you bad my habit. No one, I'll buy wig. If the child was not even wearing wig and makeup, the child will extend it to wig and makeup. Because the child now hates you. And if a child hates you, the child will want to do everything to provoke you. I want to see what you feel. So as parents, I beg you, caution your children with love, especially the girls. Girls love to be pampered. Show them care. That thing that is making them to follow boy, find the roots. If you cut a tree from the top, what will happen to the roots again? But what if you uproot the roots, what will happen? Your child is following boy because you, the mother, you are not available. Big Brother NIGERIAN 247. Z word, is it not Z word? Then you know. Your child is even starting her menstruation, you don't know. If I ask some of you now, where's your child now? So this, you may not be able to tell me, except someone to die. If it's a school day, it's easy to say school. But if I ask some of you now, where is your child? You may not know where they are. That love, that relationship is not there. So please, these social vices affect you, affect me. Me that do my work, it will affect me. You that is seated not doing your work, it will affect you. So if you want a better Nigeria, you want a better Edo State, the role of parents can never ever be swept under the carpet. Forget whatever they say they want to do, forget whatever technology they want to use. The role of parents is paramount, and we must begin to play our role as parents. Thank you. We have very honest people here. While I've done this in previous places, in some places, what I usually get is, okay, let me get one. If your child commits a criminal offense that you are aware, will you report? Yes. If your child comes home with a bag of money, will you return it? Yes. If you notice your child having money that you don't even know, yes. But I'm happy that in this organization, we have people who express their mind. At least we have 8 people who answered no. That is, if their child keep person, they're not going to talk commerce. If their child see money, carry commerce, they're not going to return them. And if their child blow overnight, they go hide that, they're not going to talk about it. I appreciate your honesty.
Audience.
While I appreciate your honesty, I want to also let you know that money where you say you don't go bring come out like person you don't take what does not belong to you. You see money, you go come, you go finish. But peace of mind matters a lot. I know say put some place where you won't carry the money go. If it be say like that, they go forget if are true or false. But it doesn't matter, you done the right thing and you satisfied your conscience. On if your son commits a criminal offense, some people said no, they will not report. I know, I understand, it's hard as a parent, but you must also remember that a child you protect today, you do another one tomorrow. But what you cannot tell is who will be beating tomorrow, is that not? It's like somebody that throws stone inside the market. You cannot tell whose eyes will be blind. So please, let us look at these questions again and work on our mindset. Thank you very much.
Can we say our sister, our daughter, thank you?
Thank you, sister.
For this wonderful day. Please, anytime I talk, I say have a Bible, have a job. God by himself say write it down. For whatever you are writing down, you will not forget. And if you read it, your children will read it. It will guide everybody. Madam, thank you very much. God will bless you. It's a wonderful lecture. we will ask questions. And please ask genuine questions. Don't model of things. Don't be the one asking questions, you are the one answering your question. We didn't say bring answers. We say ask questions that they will explain the answers. Let's do that for 3-5 minutes. Question. Take number.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 persons. 5 and 5. So you are 5.
My question is so funny, but let me ask it because I want to clear. Is it good for a man up to 40 years, 45, 50 years, telling a young girl that I want to marry this girl? And meanwhile, the parent will be laughing. Is it good? I want to know that whether a man.
Yes, the next question.
My question is this. Modern girls of today, you find it difficult to cook or to boil water in the house. Who are we going to blame?
Yes, the next one. Did you raise up your hand before?
My question is, in a family where you have the man and the woman, a husband and wife, and probably the man is a disciplinarian, whereas the wife is not. Are your wife is still disciplined? And your wife seems to be saying that, look, oh, you want to kill my children, want all this kind of thing. And so the children seem to be dancing to the side of the wife. I mean, to their mother. Then their mother is a good woman. But you that is trying to bring some discipline to the home, you are not a good man. Now, in this extent, what do we do?
Once again. Madam, you did mention that a lot of parents today, because of their hustle for money here and there, that plays a very big role in many of them not having time to attend to their children. And we all know it is true. And most of us are very guilty. What got money to stops a lot of nonsense. You cannot separate money from having a little bit of. Okay. There is a way to make money and have time for your family at home. Since, can somebody tell me what I want to say? What did it happen?
I'll give you 1 second. If you don't ask for you didn't say lecture. Question. If you don't have, sit down.
I have. Okay, now let me reframe it again. What do you do to help parents make money so that they will have time for their children?
Please, one house. My question is, my name is Ojo Charles. Is lack of finance a barrier to happiness in a home? Very simple question. Yes, happiness and peace in a home. Barrier. No barrier.
Okay. Listen to the explanation. So we are taking services. Okay, we give you just 2 minutes because
My question comes from the when you see that your child comes with a bag of money, will you report the child to the police? I don't know that. But my question is this: outside reporting to the police, who have little or no help to render, what of one reporting to a superior person, like now reporting to our bishop, because I don't know Antonio Che. Look at what I saw my son did, carrying the child to the bishop and taking the bag of money to the bishop, outside reporting to the police. Does that make sense as well?
No, the money is important. Somebody's money. So that Hello, just wait.
Thank you for your questions. It shows that we did this thing while I was teaching. But the question asked by a man should have been asked by a woman, because women are more guilty. You stand in your shop and elderly man is calling your daughter my wife, and you two are smiling. That is what we call grooming. What that man is doing to your daughter is in a simple sense, they prepare her for ground. Somebody that your daughter has already known as my husband, and you were there as the mother, you did not stop it. Is it the same person that the man will say, remove your pants, and she will say no? Is it possible? Because you called the girl my wife, and the mother is there, and the mother did not say no. What do husband and wife do? Is it not to put pants? So say what? No! Nobody marries for the son. In most cases where we hear that, we later on hear cases of attempts. It may not be the actual process. It may be from my wife, they begin to press their breast, touch their putos, and from there anything can happen. So parents, please, you know your daughter's husband, don't you? Don't you? Your daughter you don't marry. Your 2 years old pikin get husband, 3 years get, 10 years get, so no one is allowed to refer to your daughter as their wife. That is grooming. Then they prepare her down, especially when that my wife, they go with touch. My wife, hey, honorable, my wife, are you the mother? You are there. Especially for teenage girls, they have hormones. There are places where you touch teenage girls and they respond. My wife, they are touching the clitoris. My wife, they are pressing the breast. That is what abuse. Please, any man call your daughter their wife, tell her say, okay, babe, don't not be quarrel. Not come and kill my wife. My wife.
Take some change now. What do you want to collect?
Now they make women not they quarrel. But they dash and change. They always want their combat something. So you may fear to tell her, may not call your kill my wife again. But tomorrow something will happen, you will run on them. No one I medicine after death. What you go happen? Last time, first go police station. But what you do your pikin, they will change her? No. So if you notice any kind of talk concerning your pikin, whether boy or girl, you know say these days, no longer about the girl child. We also have even the boy child. Their neighbors are no longer safe. So don't allow it. Anybody have unnecessary closeness to your children. Difficulty in cooking, who to obey, the husband and the wife, no more than others. I know you were expecting me to say, blame me mama, when woman not sabi cook. The girl where he dey for book say, kitchen, na only woman they make her for. Have you not seen men that cook? There are men that cooking, they're not a poet for grad one. But that does not mean that women, you go home and say, one lady came to teach us, the husband, let's have kitchen. Say, man, they no. But I'm saying, complement each other. If you marry a woman that does not love cooking, she not even sabi cook. But you as a man, you sabi cook. What will it take from you to enter the kitchen and cook? What are the implications of your children not going out to cook? While in the university, I had a roommate, all throughout 100 level to final year, she dey back to the eat. Why? They're not teach her for house. In fact, like the mama, they said that money. Those of us that went to university, you know her too, right? Yeah. You know canteen. The mama, they deposit directly to canteen. She get card. If they give her food in the morning, they go take am. At the end of the month, they go come calculate, mama go pay. Maybe the mother didn't know how to cook, but papa sabi go say, wetin people go talk. May I not teach this my pikin? No. A man and woman can teach the child how to cook. Yes. Anybody can teach. If now you sabi cook pass your wife, if you dey cook, carry your children to hey, if you teach her for us, you go carry am, you go know how to cook for husband house. Now when you don't teach her for us, now she go carry am go there. Liability. They said controversy over discipline. And what he said is true. Women tend to be, they're not they handle pikin the way men they handle pikin in terms of discipline. And we understand. She not be woman they enter labor ward. She not be woman they carry the pikin. So it is very difficult for women to actually be very firm with the child. But what I do not advise mothers to do, if your husband they discipline your pikin, face the other side. I'm not sure say any man there will just beat the pikin make there. Except say the man the head something very wrong. So when I hear mothers trying to overrule the men when they are trying to discipline the child, I see a mother who is already destroying that child. Your husband just say, Peter, I hear say you think, come here now. He say, which kind of that? Peter, they go his house. Tomorrow, Peter will come at you with a knife. And maybe that your husband feel don't marry another woman. So now you and Peter will call him left for house. So when your husband wants to do his job, what you can do as a mother is to try and guide him. Some may actually get some kind of temper, where if you not control their small, they will break the pikin head. But as a mother, if you notice say your husband at that time invest, if he's scatter here, try to the camera. But don't do it in a way that you bring the man down before the child. The man never even raise, I say, if you try and here. Tomorrow, when the man talks to the child, they say, I'll call my money for you. You see that, bro? Yes, a father is disciplining a child, and the child is telling the father, I go come on for you. So come on for you to come with you. So please, let's not go to that. Time for family. If you see this life, nobody get time. Be where they here. I don't get time. But I say something very important for you, waiting you create time for it. So I don't want to hear men say, you know, say I be man, and they also, that's why, no. Okay, you know, for also Monday to Sunday. Now only Sunday. That's not the way you play house. Don't use that watch, check. Any Chelsea fan, more than all best. Why you know? So that's Sunday that you are told. It's not Sunday for Man U or Chelsea. Gather your children, let them from hand, more than they play. So that's how you create time for your children, even if you are working. There's no way of time. You will tell me, say, Monday to Sunday. NIGERIAN office or bush or wherever your office is, and that is where we also have what we call vacation. If you belong to the corporate industry, you are allowed to go on vacation. So men, I beg, when I get opportunity to take that kind of vacation, not be with side chick, with your girlfriend. I got the vacation, your side chick go they go hotel. No, vacation is for you to spend time with your family. Now you go make up for. You not make up for side chick. What is that? How would they do for others? Then the next one is lack of finance. I've ever not this. I go talk to if money not there, happiness not there. We will not deceive ourselves. Happiness not there. I beg. How many money you will take pay life? How many money you will take? How many money you will take pay as rent? So my house where you never pay. So my house where you never pay house rent. Now you dey share happiness. Not long ago you do happiness to travel.
I dey focus on it.
Now you talk around 4 a.m.
Me not dey here.
So that's why they say before you do work, make some money. Because some of our money we are not saying small first. So they start the family. And what is not the way you pay for your house, keep that to feed that your keep paying. So that's about that. Then the last question I talk to others. Now, if you see money, Oga, there are authorities put in place. Like I said, we know say some of them. As you carry the money, I'm not mention them. But I know say some, as you carry money enter their office, before you go, they don't share that money. But teach your pikin the right thing. By letting him know, say, that money where you bring, not be my own, not be your own, and they carry a go police station back. And you mentioned Bishop, somebody say tithes. They're not they use stolen money pay tithes. They're not they use stolen money dash person or say, not be me use them, I give you no. So let's learn to do the right. So thank you very much.
This will let to Africa. This will let to Africa. There are things I have noted. Please listen. Who are those holding meeting here? The essence of this meeting is for us to have something to do and correct ourselves and our family. So if you are not here, come on, I will tell you to stand up. Madam, you spoke of hard work. I want to debunk that. You don't work hard, you work right. Are you hearing me? The only way you can succeed is you are doing what is right consistently. You get the result. We say the man breaking that thing, when we come here, we not the hear what. Is the man resting? No. Eh? No. Is he not working hard? Yes. Can you compare the money he make there to the money those selling electrical parts in Akapapa is making? No. Eh? No. Can you compare it to the salary of a permanent secretary? No. Can you compare it to legal fee of madam? Eh? No. Life is working right. When you are doing what is right consistently, you make money. You become a consultant. People admire you. Yes. Driver and governor, who come to work first? Who receive the highest salary? Who work harder than each other? Hey, when you stand up, that press us. Governor works harder 10 times. The driver and the governor work harder 10 times than the driver. But you have to work at an office. Yes.
Bishop, sir. I will, don't worry. Bishop, sir, with all due respect, working hard has nothing to do with I've worked in offices, not one. But it has nothing to do with what we are saying now. Okay.